You've met them before. The people who command attention without raising their voice, who make people listen without demanding authority, who influence decisions without pressuring anyone. They don't have to shout, they don't have to force, and yet their presence changes the entire atmosphere of a room. This is the power of silent leadership, a rare but incredibly effective way to influence people without controlling them. True leadership isn't about being the loudest person in the room. It's about knowing when to speak and when to stay silent, when to guide and when to step back, when to push and when to let people find their own way. The most respected leaders aren't those who micromanage every detail, but those who inspire action through their presence, decisiveness, and unshakable confidence. A leader's true power doesn't come from how much they say, but from how much people respect what they say. Those who constantly assert their authority, who interrupt, who dominate discussions, may appear strong on the surface, but in reality, they are compensating for a lack of true influence. People listen not to the one who speaks the most, but to the one who speaks with the most meaning. First, the ability to lead without force comes from projecting calm confidence. People naturally look to those who seem in control, and nothing signals strength more than the ability to remain calm under pressure. When a situation becomes chaotic, most people panic, overreact, or start blaming others. A silent leader does the opposite, staying composed, listening before speaking, and responding instead of reacting. This creates an immediate psychological effect. People instinctively trust and gravitate toward the one who appears unshaken. Second, one of the most underrated leadership skills is listening without interrupting. Most people aren't really listening, they're just waiting for their turn to speak. A silent leader understands that power comes from absorbing more information than you give away. The ability to listen deeply, make others feel heard, and respond with precision makes people respect and trust your words more when you do speak. First, one of the fastest ways to become a respected leader is by mastering strategic silence. Many believe leadership is about constantly giving orders, but real influence comes from knowing when not to speak. In a meeting, instead of immediately jumping in with your opinion, wait. Observe how others respond. Let people share their thoughts first. When you do speak, your words carry more weight because they weren't just thrown into the noise. They were chosen carefully. Second, a powerful leader doesn't impose authority. They create an environment where people want to follow. Instead of saying, "Do it this way," they say, "What do you think would work best?" This creates a sense of ownership and responsibility, making people more invested in the outcome. People resist control, but they embrace guidance and trust. First, true silent leadership isn't about avoiding communication, it's about communicating with intention. A leader who constantly talks dilutes their own authority. But when they choose their words wisely, speaking only when necessary, every sentence has impact. Their employees, team members, and colleagues pay attention, not because they have to, but because they know that when this person speaks, it's important. Second, another key element of silent leadership is leading by example instead of commands. People don't follow what leaders say, they follow what leaders do. A boss who demands hard work but slacks off will never earn real respect. But a leader who consistently demonstrates the values they preach, whether it's integrity, discipline, or resilience, naturally inspires others to do the same. First, the ability to control emotional energy is what separates weak leaders from powerful ones. A weak leader lets stress, frustration, or insecurity seep into their interactions. A strong leader, however, remains a pillar of emotional stability. Their presence alone brings a sense of order, direction, and reassurance. Second, a silent leader doesn't avoid difficult conversations, they handle them with precision. When a mistake is made, instead of shouting or criticizing, they ask, "What do you think went wrong?" Or, "What can we learn from this?" Instead of creating an environment of fear, they cultivate an environment of growth and accountability, where people feel safe to admit mistakes and improve. First, another powerful technique is strategic nonverbal leadership. Body language communicates more than words ever can. A strong posture, steady eye contact, and controlled movements create an aura of authority. When a leader walks into a room with confidence and purpose, they don't need to demand respect. It is naturally given. Second, patience is one of the greatest tools in silent leadership. Many people rush to prove themselves, to assert their dominance, to make their voices heard. But the leader who waits, who lets others reveal their true intentions, who speaks last instead of first, always has the upper hand. They make decisions not based on impulse, but on a full understanding of the situation. First, leadership isn't about overpowering people. It's about making them feel empowered in your presence. A great leader never has to remind others that they are the leader. Their impact is felt, not forced. Their respect is earned, not demanded. Their influence is lasting, not temporary. Second, people don't follow orders. They follow those who make them feel understood, capable, and valued. The leader who walks into a room and doesn't need to prove anything is the leader who holds the most power. Their silence isn't weakness. It's the ultimate sign of control. The greatest proof of silent leadership is in crisis situations. When chaos erupts, when uncertainty spreads, people instinctively look toward those who seem unfazed. The one who can remain still in the storm, who can think clearly while others react emotionally, who can lead with actions rather than panic-driven words, this is the person who commands true respect. The difference between a loud, aggressive leader and a silent, authoritative one is like the difference between a candle and the sun. A candle flickers, trying to make itself seen. The sun doesn't have to try, it just is. A great leader understands that they don't have to prove their power. Their presence alone is enough. Silent leadership isn't about saying less. It's about making sure that when you do speak, people listen. It's about knowing that true influence isn't about volume, but about precision, presence, and consistency. Once you master this, you'll never need to force authority again. People will naturally look to you as their leader.